Let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking a topic that is fundamentally transforming the way businesses operate. Okay, let's dive into this. For a long time, procurement was kind of viewed as just this back office function, just buying the goods to keep the lights on, right? Well, that era is completely over. Today, procurement has evolved into a powerhouse of strategy. And at the absolute center of this transformation is something you probably think you already know, but it's changing fast: the request for quotation, or RFQ. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how modern RFQ processes are dramatically improving procurement from the ground up.
Check out this quote. An RFQ is more than a price request. It's a negotiation framework that ensures fairness and transparency. I really want to emphasize this right out of the gate because it completely sets the high stakes of modern strategic sourcing. Seriously, if you're still looking at an RFQ as just a piece of paper asking how much, you are leaving immense value on the table. It's literally the foundation of trust and accountability between you and your suppliers.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The new procurement paradigm. 2. Understanding the RFQ. 3. The step-by-step journey. 4. Unlocking strategic benefits. And finally, 5. The digital transformation.
Section 1. The new procurement paradigm. From buying to sourcing. The old days of simply buying goods are over, and it is definitely time to think bigger. In today's landscape, procurement essentially equals strategic sourcing plus cost transparency plus supplier accountability. Organizations today are basically performing this constant high-wire act. They have to balance pure operational efficiency with maintaining a really sharp competitive advantage. And you just can't achieve that by picking the first vendor you stumble across in a directory. Data-driven decisions, they are the absolute baseline standard now. You need to know where every single dollar is going. You need suppliers who actually stand behind their promises, and you need a strategic approach to finding those suppliers in the first place.
Section 2. Understanding the RFQ. Defining the weapon. So how do we actually execute this new paradigm? We need the exact right tool. A request for quotation, or RFQ, is a formalized procurement document sent to suppliers requesting precise pricing and terms for well-defined goods or services. Now, the absolute key word here is well-defined. This tool becomes indispensable precisely when your project specifications are already firmly locked in. You know exactly what you want, you know the quantities, the dimensions, all the parameters. And now you just need to lock in the absolute best pricing and delivery terms to make it happen. Now, I know a lot of people get tripped up by the alphabet soup of procurement. So let's clear up a major misconception right now by contrasting the RFQ directly against the RFP, or request for proposal. Think of an RFP as asking a chef to invent a menu to solve your hunger problem. You've got a problem, but you aren't exactly sure how to solve it yet. But an RFQ, it's like going to the grocery store with a highly specific list. It is laser-focused on price, delivery timelines, and compliance. An RFQ is a targeted instrument. It is not a brainstorming exercise. You use an RFQ when you are ready to execute. Section 3. The step-by-step journey from requisition to purchase order. A structured path is exactly what guarantees clarity and enforces supplier accountability. Understanding the tool is one thing, right? But deploying it effectively requires a very specific path. Phase 1 is all about preparation and invitation. Step 1, identify your requirements through purchase requisitions. Step 2, prepare the document, which means outlining the exact scope, quantities, timelines, and evaluation criteria. Step 3, formally invite your shortlisted, pre-qualified suppliers to participate. And Step 4, which is incredibly critical, clarify supplier queries. Please do not skip this. Allowing suppliers to raise questions early on ensures that everyone is on the exact same page. And you know what that does? It allows them to provide the most accurate pricing possible and prevents costly misunderstandings down the line. That groundwork builds seamlessly into Phase 2, bidding and award. Let's see how this builds. Step 1 of this phase, vendors submit their itemized quotations before your strict deadline. Step 2 is where your procurement team evaluates and compares costs, delivery times, and compliance side by side. And finally, Step 3. Because of this incredibly structured evaluation, you can confidently award the purchase order to the best supplier. It really is a seamless transition from a complex evaluation straight into a finalized handshake. Section 4. Unlocking strategic benefits. Connecting process to payoff. Let's talk about how this actually impacts your bottom line. So you might be wondering, okay, I get the 7 steps, but how does this rigid process actually benefit my organization? How do we connect the process directly to the payoff? Let's break down the best practices. Take cost transparency. How do you get it? By defining specifications clearly so that every vendor is bidding on the exact same thing. That gives you an apples-to-apples comparison. How do you get efficiency? You leverage digital tools to automate those workflows. What about supplier accountability? You maintain pools of pre-qualified vendors to reduce your risk. And finally, achieving a competitive advantage requires you to use weighted scoring. Guys, this is a real game changer. Weighted scoring means you aren't just blindly picking the lowest price. Instead, you're dynamically balancing price against things like delivery speed, warranty terms, and compliance history to find the true, absolute highest value. Section 5. The digital transformation, scaling with AI, moving from static documents to dynamic workflows. You could run those 7 steps on spreadsheets and email, sure, but to truly unlock the benefits we just discussed at scale, procurement is turning to digital transformation. And this is where platforms like Rasta Infotech are totally changing the landscape with dynamic, AI-powered workflows. We're talking about automated quote comparison dashboards that do all the heavy lifting of evaluation for you, real-time supplier performance analytics, so you always know who's actually delivering on time, seamless integration with enterprise systems like SAP EWM for your complex warehouse operations, and audit-ready digital trails for total compliance. By automating these workflows, organizations are dramatically cutting cycle times while gaining really deep strategic insights into their supplier markets. So, to summarize what we've unpacked today, the request for quotation is absolutely no longer just a procurement formality. It's a vital, strategic enabler of cost control, efficiency, and supplier trust. By mastering that 7-step process and embracing digital, AI-powered solutions like those from Rasta Infotech, organizations can literally eliminate administrative inefficiencies, securely lock in highly competitive pricing, and massively strengthen their overall procurement governance. So the crucial point is this. Take a look inward at your own operations. Is your current RFQ process just a mere administrative formality, just a box to check before you buy something? Or have you evolved it into a dynamic, strategic enabler that's truly ready for the digital sourcing era? It's a question every focused learner and procurement professional needs to answer if they want to stay competitive today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.